Legends, welcome back to another one. So we are up bright and early this morning. We have just left Esperance and we are planning to head across to the Nullarbor. Basically with this video, we might use it as a bit of a travel vlog for our time crossing the Nullarbor, but the main purpose is we want to have a chat about WA. So we just worked out, we spent 100 days over here. It's been an amazing time, so we might give you guys our thoughts on what we love the most, kind of what we didn't like, and particularly our budget, how much we spent and everything like that. So stick around for that one and I hope you enjoy. How good a road works.
I'll tell you what, it's not 90 miles of the straightest road, but it's however 160 kilometres of entirely roadworks.
Yeah, you got a copy on the dirt, just coming towards the intersection.
Oh, almost there.
Big loads.
It's been a big day.
It has been a big day of driving.
I was hoping for some clear skies tonight, but it doesn't look like it's going to be.
No. I also think the almost full moon would rain on your time lapse.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I kind of had these dreams of just scoring really good star laps across the Nullarbor, but probably not this time.
Next time.
It's scary stopping on the Nullarbor.
Well, it's alright when you don't have a car up your backside.
What are you doing?
Prepping for the border crossing.
Which we may or may not do today.
Yeah, I mean the quarantine checkpoint isn't until, was it Ceduna?
Ceduna, yeah, so it's like 8 hours, so probably won't do it today, I don't think.
Yeah, but just in case, it's better to get this stuff done.
What are you going to do with it?
Any of the non-permitted fruit and veg I chop up and freeze, which is fine because I did that last time and it was okay. Garlic I peel and freeze. Onion I'll dice up and freeze.
Yeah, cool.
And honey, unfortunately,
Got to get rid of
we
it.
sacrificed, but I'll wait to the last minute to do that.
Yep.
Bit of rain.
Rain day on the Nullarbor. Probably needed to give the troopy a bit of a wash after all those Esperance beaches. We didn't actually get a chance to give it a good clean before we left Esperance yesterday, just because we were in a bit of a hurry. So patiently waiting until we get across to Ceduna to give it a good wash, but rain might help out a little bit.
I think we're gonna have to get some of that. Is there like special wash for red dirt, red dust?
I have read like people talking about stuff like that on maybe like Facebook groups and stuff like that, but I can't remember the names of the products, so I'm going to have to do a bit of a deep dive to find out what they are. But yeah, we definitely need to...
If anyone can recommend anything.
Yeah, definitely need a bit of help with removing the stains. Like, we got off a bunch of stuff, but there's still stains from up northern WA and that, so...
Heaps on the caravan too, like the caravan was hit pretty hard.
Yeah, for sure. How's this truck? So I thought a good way to pass some time on this very long drive would be to stitch Ash up and basically ask some unplanned questions about Western Australia, like overall thoughts and everything like that. One thing I did want to touch on first was when we did the last budget video, one of the things I took out of that was a lot of people thought that like our daily rate and everything like that was really good. Did get the odd few comments either via YouTube comments or like social media messages where some people just thought it was crazy high. And look, I understand where that one's coming from, but one thing I've noticed with this, and like as I said, I know some people probably don't want to hear this because it's the hard truth, but I think a lot of the information people get with a lot lower costs is like really outdated information. Like I see, like when you Google it, one of the most common things that comes up is trip in a van stuff, and that's probably from like 5-10 years ago. The reality is so much has changed since that time. Like groceries, as everyone would know, has massively gone up. Fuel costs has massively gone up. Accommodation, like I think I was reading that post the other day, just having a look at it, and they, like, it sounded like an expensive caravan park in those days was around $50 a night, and for like a family that's not the case anymore. It's upwards $70-$80 in some places. So it just, that's how much costs have changed. And like the reality is, I think everyone has this idea of free camps, and I get that, and free camps are amazing. Like we stayed in one last night, but the reality is, particularly in WA, I found, like this is excluding down the bottom because there is some really good free camps down around Albany and stuff, but up north, like the free camps are like roadside stops, and they're actually not really close to the locations at all.
Unless you're inland. Like if you're
inland, yeah, for sure. But I'm talking like your prime locations, like Exmouth, like Ningaloo Reef and that. They're roadside stops, and you know, best case they're half an hour from where you want to be, probably realistically closer to an hour. So you've got to weigh up whether you pay for petrol or you pay to stay in these places. And one way I look at it is that one of the big things with doing these kind of trips is you want to stay in the, you know, at least some of your time, you want to stay in these prime locations, watch the sunset there, watch the sunrise there, and kind of really experience the whole thing. So it was just one thing that I thought I should touch on. Like, I know that it's probably not something everyone wants to hear, because the reality is it costs more to do this kind of stuff than what you want it to cost. Like, I would love it to be way cheaper, but the reality is if you want to do these things, unfortunately, there's a cost that comes with it. So yeah, that's kind of just one thing I wanted to touch on. But back to Ash before she gets a chance to kind of think about all this too much. So what were your overall, like, what was your thoughts of WA as a state, everything we did there, just to touch on it kind of thing?
I really love WA. I think everyone really loves WA. I think that's like the, you know, the West is best type thing. I really loved it. I wish we could have spent more time there because it's so big. It's just, you just can't, like the amount, we spent 100 days there.
Yeah, I think 103 days.
There's no way you can see everything, and we crammed in a lot.
Yeah.
Largely because we had like time frames that we had to kind of fit it in.
Yeah, so we basically had commitments. Ash had commitments to go to a hens party, and we also have commitments for a wedding over on the south coast of New South Wales in April. So that kind of governed
how much time.
Yeah, how much time we had. So a lot of our trip and how we did it was kind of based on that. Actually, I'll touch on, so we headed into WA in Norseman. We went up to Kalgoorlie, and then kind of up through the centre way, all the way up to Karratha, Dampier, where I visited a mate. And then we basically just slowly headed down the coast from there. So all the way down south of Perth, all the way around to Esperance, back up to Norseman, which is where we recently left. And yeah, heading back across the Nullarbor. So we didn't get to see the very, very top end. But like, as Ash said, like my recommendation, if you're going to do this state, like plan a solid amount of time. Like I think easily double what we did would probably be starting to get around the kind of amount of time you'd want to look at.
Oh, yeah.
At least, eh?
Yeah.
At least. So yeah, at least around that 200 days kind of mark to really do it well, because
I mean, we only did the bottom, like, or the bottom,
three quarters.
Bottom three quarters.
Yeah.
We didn't do up north. It was not the right time of year to do that, but we're planning on doing that.
Yeah, at some stage later on. Yeah. So, but yeah, overall, me too. Like, I think, like, you see where the West is best statement from. It's an incredible state. I already knew that. Like, I've been around there a bunch and that too, but I got to see so much more at this time, and it just leaves me wanting to see more and more and more. So, yeah. Okay, next one. What was your favourite town?
My favourite town was Denmark. I loved it.
Why did you love Denmark?
Well, it's just in a like stunningly beautiful place, and it also ticked a lot of boxes for us as far as like food is concerned.
Yeah.
So there was like access to really great butchers, and there was that amazing like grocery that had like
Heaps of health food stuff,
loads of stuff that we
organic
really
produce
like,
and that too. Yeah.
The playground was great. It's a beautiful creek running through the town. Yeah, it just ticked a lot of boxes, and it's just like a beautiful area.
I think that if everywhere we've seen, like if money wasn't even a factor at all, and we were picking one place to move to, like Denmark would probably be at the top of the list. Like it's got all the amazing ocean, river systems, like national park near there. It's just like everything, and obviously like healthy food options, like incredible place. But unfortunately, it's quite up there in price. So I agree. Like that's probably like my favorite town I've seen in WA. So, what about favorite places?
Favorite places I have. Can I have three, or do I have to have one?
No, you can have three. I'll give you three.
I have three. And this is not in any particular order, but Hammersley Gorge in Karratha.
Yep.
Five Fingers Reef at Coral Bay, and Wharton Beach at Orleans Bay.
That's three pretty good choices. Hey, I don't know if I'd pick anything different or not. Like I loved South Lefroy as well, particularly like the kind of private hidden beach that we went to.
Secret beach.
The
secret beach at some wiki camps.
It's on wiki camps, but it's not so easy to find. So like that area was incredible too. Yeah, I really liked inland, like Karratha, and that was incredible. It's also different. Hey, such a variety.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close to sticking with what you said. I think maybe just adding in South Lefroy as well. So, favorite activity we did in WA.
It's tricky. It's got to be snorkeling at Five Fingers Reef, I reckon.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That was just like. And we were there on a really windy day, but the kids still, like our kids are pretty strong swimmers, but they were still like able to do it when it was like blowing.
Yeah.
But under the water, like it doesn't really.
No, it was super clear, lots of marine life, like definitely the best place we've found on the road so far for kid-friendly snorkeling and stuff like that. Like,
it was amazing.
Incredible. It's pretty similar. Probably the same for me. I really liked spearfishing around that South Lefroy beach, that kind of secret beach thing again, and also swimming with the dolphins at Lucky Bay the other week was incredible as well. So I don't know, they're probably up there for me. All right, this is a tricky one right now, and a lot of pressure with this one. Esperance or Exmouth? And when I say Esperance, I mean the national parks and everything around there. And when I say Esperance, I mean like the Ningaloo kind of area up around there. I had to pick. I feel like these are like two of the top WA tourist destinations. So if you could only pick one, which would you pick?
Esperance.
Yeah.
I've never seen beaches. Those beaches. I think those beaches have ruined all other beaches. For the rest of time.
Yeah, no, it's like even like where we love the Eyre Peninsula, which is amazing beaches. It's just like next level on it, really.
I've never seen water that clear.
No, and the white sand and everything like that. I think. For me, I would probably pick Esperance because I think there's more the option for waves and everything there too.
Exmouth is so beautiful.
Oh, no, like the Ningaloo and that too. If I had to just pick one, like if I, had a few month holiday planned, and I'd pick Esperance, I think. But it's very tight. Like I'd want to get back to the Ningaloo as well, so I think we'd go that one. Yeah. What did you think of the crowds in Western Australia?
I didn't notice them until like January.
Yeah.
And then but we also travelled to like Exmouth in off season. So but it was still beautiful in off season.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like it's so good not being locked into doing things during tourist season. I know so many people believe you got to do it in the prime season and that. But we scored some amazing days up there.
Yeah.
We didn't have to book anything in advance.
Yeah.
We scored like good days with good wins. It wasn't too hot. Like honestly, I'd go back there in a second out of season. I think that it was amazing.
The only thing is, I would really like to swim with whale sharks.
Yeah, so if we were to do that, we'd have to go there at the right season for it.
Yeah. But so crowds, like we definitely felt it kind of when we came south. But
Yeah.
we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, well, we hit around like Margs region in prime, like Christmas kind of period and stuff. So it was very busy around there and that. So, but we made it work. We managed to not plan campsites, as I've mentioned in another video, and we managed to always have accommodation and everything like that. We got to see heaps of things and stuff. It'd be really good to go back out of season around that time, but around that area.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Definitely the most crowds that we've had on our trip so far, but I would say.
Oh, yeah.
If you hit a busy area in WA, it's very, very, very busy. You see caravans on your drive to somewhere, there's caravans everywhere, hey, so.
And honestly, like, I don't understand how there's any Queenslanders in Queensland. Every caravan or every person that we speak to is from Queensland.
It's like Victorians in Queensland. Like they're just everywhere in Queensland. Queenslanders in WA, hey. So any negatives that come to mind with WA, like from the time there?
The roads in national parks. Even not just in the national parks, in the just any of like all of the dirt tracks, but to places that are like paid camping.
Yeah, and like really popular paid camping as well.
Yeah, just they're not looked after.
No, it seems like there's, I don't know, like some of those places look like they hadn't been graded in years and that, which is a bit disappointing when you pay, it's like $17 a day to get into the national parks in WA, which is super steep. Like I haven't seen that much in any other state that we've been in. So it's a bit disappointing when they don't maintain it at all from what we could see. Maybe it's more just in prime season they maintain and we got unlucky, but yeah, okay, sick. I don't really have anything else to ask. You've done well. You nailed it.
Thank you.
Bombs. Fuel stop. Mundrabilla fuel stop. This is our first proper one. We are down to our second tank now, so good chance to fill up. And when I looked on PetrolSpy before we crossed the Nullarbor, this is one of the cheapest spots. So we'll see how expensive it is. It looks $2.33. So we'll fill up here and then get a move on, hey?
Uh-huh. South Australia.
How's it feel?
Back in South Australia.
Bye-bye, kangaroo.
Back in the future home state.
Yeah.
Crazy. Quick little lunch stop off.
Yeah, at 4 p.m.
Oh yeah, because we've lost some time, yeah. At the Nullarbor Cliffs, so we're not going to stay here tonight, I don't think. But it's always a good excuse to come down here for a look, eh?
Yep.
Pretty glad we're not staying here tonight.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly.
So cold, eh? It's a good little lunch break.
Yeah, it was a great lunch break. Great lunch break. Great.
Break.
Everyone likes that stop.
It's such a good spot. There are heaps of people there for the night, hey? Would have been nice to stay there again, but
Yeah.
we're kind of keen to power ahead for like another 3 hours or so we get closer to our next destination for tomorrow. So this should make it a little bit easier if we do a few more hours today.
Yeah.
So what we're going to talk about now is basically our expenses in Western Australia. So disclaimer first off, this doesn't include any like car or caravan maintenance kind of expenses. So anything that broke, car servicing, anything like that, like we haven't included that because it's obviously going to be very different for everyone's circumstances with that. But I thought it might be more interesting for people to kind of get an idea of roughly how much we're spending per day and how much we spent. I think so. We were there for 103 days. And yeah, we're going to go through, we've tallied up our expenses into some different categories. I'm going to go through that now.
So the first one is accommodation, which obviously we're in a caravan, so it's, places we can have a caravan, was $2,909. 29 nights were spent in caravan parks. So I don't think that's too bad.
No, so that's about a third of our time. And as we kind of mentioned earlier, like WA was a bit trickier in regards to that, particularly when we were there. Like we had to stay in caravan parks a fair few times just simply to be near the locations we wanted to be at.
Yeah, and sometimes just to get out, just to have the aircon on. Or...
Yeah, particularly because we were travelling in like some hotter areas and stuff like that. So, obviously, like ideally would have been just to stay at like your national park camp, like council-based ones as much as possible. But we didn't really get the opportunity that often once we got down from up north. Really, it
was more hip camps. So the rest of the days were a mixture of council camps, station stays, and hip camps.
Yeah, we did a bunch of hip camps over in WA because we found out that was an easier solution for us in a lot of places, particularly how busy it was over there. I know down the bottom of WA, there's actually quite a lot of free camps, particularly around Albany and all those areas, but just when we were there, it was so busy, so it wasn't an option. And like, hopefully when we go back next time, it'll be an option to go and make the most of those free camps and stuff, because some of them are beautiful and they're like right on the coast there. So
yeah, and hopefully they stay free camps. There is a bit of a trend of free camps disappearing.
There is, so hopefully they do. Hopefully people aren't buying it for everyone else. Really.
Yeah,
so
do the right thing, people. Clean up after yourselves.
Yep, definitely. I'd love, like, how good would it be if our kids have the opportunity to do this when they're older? Like,
yeah,
I'm not too optimistic that's going to get to happen the way it is, but you never know. So it'd be great if that's still an option for like our kids and that when they're older. Yeah. So what's the next category?
Fuel is... Do you want to take a guess, or have you been looking on the screen?
It's almost $4,000 I can see, but how much is it exactly?
$3,932.
Yeah, okay, cool. So what I'll say about that, I think overall, like, fuel was pretty good. Like, we have the 2 tanks obviously in the Troopy, so we could be kind of selective for when we filled up, but overall I didn't feel like we were paying too crazy costs. Like nearly all the time it was under $2.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, until we got to Esperance.
Yeah, no, it was still, it wasn't much more than 2 if it was.
Yeah.
But most of the time we seem to be filling up in the high 170s, early 180s and stuff. So honestly, seemed pretty good. Did a lot of forward driving in Western Australia too. And obviously that's going to tank your economy a fair bit. So
yeah.
There are a lot of times when we're staying out places and we were driving the forward, like the Troopy, a lot in sand and that, and you definitely notice quite a big difference when you're doing that. So yeah, I guess fuel is what it is, under $4,000. So what's next? Groceries.
Groceries, 6,636.
Yeah, okay,
So
cool.
we, like last month, we like blew our grocery budget.
Yeah,
like just absolutely smashed it.
What?
As in like we went way over.
Why do you think that was that way last month?
I don't know. It's unusual because we had more. It's maybe because we had more availability to.
Yeah. Being down south and having access to like Woolies and all that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we just got a bit loosey-goosey with, splashing out on buying. Also, we weren't able to buy certain types of milk I know that like that's not going to do everything.
We spent $2,000 in milk. How's that for a thumbnail title? Hey.
No one would watch it.
I've recently made up a video and wouldn't have seen it yet, guys, but probably in the next few weeks. And it's it's like a day in the life of, and it follows us going and doing our shopping and everything like that, and basically covers like how we shop, how we try to stay healthy on the road, and basically any little tips we've got like that. So that one should be coming out in the next few weeks.
But I mean, still that's like $66 a day, which is on average more than what we would usually spend.
Yeah, okay.
Groceries wise, but January it really was way over what we usually spend. So
yeah,
it should come back down again.
Hopefully, it's always good when it comes down. Hey.
Yes. The national parks passes. So we didn't buy. I don't know. I need to check and see how much the yearly pass is.
I believe, like, don't quote me with this one, but I believe it was somewhere around like $130 for a year pass. So we've actually spent under that.
Yeah, so we did $117. So we did one single day, which I think was the Pinnacles. We did a 3-day one.
Yeah.
For Calvary. And then we did the
bought a month one when we were down south.
One for down south.
Like, if we had our time again, I would just buy the yearly pass. I think it'd be easier. There's probably days where we might have went into national parks a bit more if we just had the yearly pass.
Yeah.
I'd say it would just be easier just to buy it. And honestly, there's national parks just everywhere over here, and they make it quite tricky in some of the places. There's toll booths and everything like that. So
actually, thinking about that, we also went into we're in Exmouth.
Yeah, so we definitely paid for a day up in Exmouth. Yeah, so yeah, honestly, I would just calculate it in your budget, and just if you're going to be over here for that amount of time, just get the yearly one. Hey, and then you don't have to worry about it, and you won't be getting pinged then. So
although like. You don't see.
No, look, you could probably get away with it. I just don't want to recommend it on there on the camera. So,
but there are places where like there's like the toll, almost like toll booths.
Yeah, like we find generally they're only manned between business hours, but we had passes when we went through them. But I guess if you did go in there early and came out late, like you're not going to have any problems.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, cool.
Activities was 235, sorry, which isn't that much. We didn't do a lot of paid activities.
We kind of spoke about that. Like, if we come back next time, it'd be cool to do some of the bigger ticket items.
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of our ones, like, what was that? There's probably like things like we went to a zoo once that I can think of.
We went to the wildlife park. We did the train ride up the Bustleton Jetty because the kids are really keen on doing that.
Yep.
I'm blank. What else did we do? There's definitely more things.
Oh, the treetop walk.
Treetop walk, that was really
down
good.
south, the Albany, the Denmark, I think it is. I reckon that's pretty close to about it for that. Hey.
Yeah, I feel like there's something else, but I can't.
Probably, I'm sure I'll think of it. I'll pop it up on the screen if we think of it. But most of our activities were things like the free activities apart from national parks, like spending time on the beaches, the reefs, everything like that. Like that was our priority. And honestly, you can come to WA and ignore like the full touristy things and do that kind of stuff, and you'll have an amazing time. Like it's incredible. Even coming from Queensland and spending a lot of time in the Eyre Peninsula and that in South Oz, like it's mind blowing over there. So yeah,
there's a lot to do.
Out in nature, a lot of stuff to do. Amazing times. Hey. So yeah, cool. All right, so got the total.
Yep, $13,829 in 103 days. So that comes out to be a rounded up, but it's $135 a day.
Yeah, okay. And as I said, not including any like car maintenance based stuff or anything like
and
that.
And like kind of general life expenses.
Yeah.
But that's just we would spend that money wherever we were. This is just the specific to WA.
It's hard to know what to think of that amount. Like when you hear 13 grand, like it sounds, you know, like spent 13 grand in, you know, three and a bit months, 3.5 months or whatever. It sounds like a lot, but then $135 a day like doesn't sound too bad when you factor in fuel, sleeping, eating, everything like that in like in a place that's kind of renowned for being quite expensive too.
Yeah.
I think that sounds pretty good to me.
I don't really have anything to compare it to. We should do this for like each state.
Yeah, when we can. Look, the hard part is we need to, you know, spend a bit of time in there. Probably the next really good one that we can do, because we're going to do like a good amount of time there, is Tassie. So yeah, Tassie will be an interesting one to compare to WA. Stick around for that one, and we'll definitely do the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Over there, I reckon. All right, well, I think that wraps up the budget part. I think we keep this trek going on the Nullarbor.
Only 2 hours and 40 minutes to go.
Not even, that's only to our camp for tonight too. So we're pretty excited, but so tomorrow night we are actually going to go and stay on our land we purchased on the Eyre Peninsula.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go and introduce ourselves to some neighbours, otherwise they're just going to think there's people
just camping up on property.
Scamming them.
I don't know, I think it's pretty common around there to park a caravan up on property, but yeah, so that's a really exciting one for us guys. Like we purchased that like right near the end of our Eyre Peninsula time, and then had to like run over to WA, so we haven't really had a chance to go there since it's settled.
No, we were in WA.
Yeah, so we're in WA when it's settled, and so it'll be pretty cool to spend a few nights there and not have to pay for accommodation.
Yeah, crazy.
So yeah, that'll be exciting. So yeah, anyway, we keep this trip going.
Day 3. We're on the home stretch. We're literally on the home stretch.
We are literally on the home stretch. It's good, I'm over it. I'm keen to see some new sights, so we've got a pretty average day too. It's raining and it's a bit chilly, hey?
Yeah, it's the only thing worse than a dusty Nullarbor camp is a slightly wet, dusty
and muddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't want to stay around there too long. Hey, I reckon it's going to get a bit muddy.
Yeah.
It's a Juna, and we get to wash the car. Did you dump all the illegal goods?
Yep. The only thing I'm really sad about is the honey.
Always the honey, hey?
We did pretty good this time though. We didn't have to, it was just the honey we had to throw out. Everything else, so we used.
That's pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
Very good. Live to fight another day.
Pass with flying colours, that one.
It's good to be back in Elliston.
It's good to be back. I'm interested to see how long the grass is.
Yeah, me too. That's one of the main reasons why we want to do a stopover, eh?
Yeah.
It's been 3.5 months now, so it'll be interesting. Grass isn't too bad.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Parked. Home.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. How's that view?
I forgot about it. I'm super glad that house is not going to block that view of Waterloo Bay.
Yeah. How good is it being here?
It's amazing. It's very glary right now.
Nothing, hey.
But the view is amazing.
I reckon that it's probably about time that we wrap up this video.
Sounds good.
Thank you for joining us on our little trip across the Nullarbor. I'm getting nailed by ants here too, which is why I'm squirming around. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed hearing about our thoughts from WA. Love to tell you where the next video is going to be from, but
We don't know.
I've actually got no idea. But it's going to be somewhere good, I promise you. So stick around for that one, and I'll see you in the next one, legends.
Bye.
Yo.
See you next time, guys.
Oh, I'm gonna keep this video going. Ash is even on the same page as us.
Okay.
I've got more to share, guys.
Okay.